Good morning from Annulus. Right now I'm working fletching, probably my most dreaded trade skill. So I'm going to make these steel guardian arrows. Steel guardian arrows are what I'm using to get this trophy to evolve. Right now my trophy is at 6 of 7. Mouse doesn't work here. Okay, so it's a 12% modifier, and I'm only about 1% modified to the final result. The final result is a Fletcher's arrow, which gives me a 15% modifier, and it allows me to summon an artisan satchel, which will be really nice. Gives me a nice weight reduction bag. So partly why I'm doing this is because Annulus has been doing these Old Man McKinsey missions and has found himself with more money than he thought he'd ever have. So it's giving him an opportunity to spend his money on his education. So he's reinvesting in himself. So he's going to Fletching school. And once he gets the Master Fletcher trophy to evolve into the Fletcher's arrow. Here we go. It's called the Fletcher's arrow. That thing. Once he gets that to fully evolve, then that's his degree. I like to think of it. And so, anyways, to get the final result to go from 1% to 100%, or to get the Master Fletcher trophy to fully evolve, I've estimated that I'll need about 1,600 combines. And fletching is actually kind of important for your religion is important. So these steel guardian arrows, which I can make because I'm a Karana deity, other deities can't make. So you can see I'm Karana here, but other deities cannot make. If you're Wood Elf, I believe Tuner, you can make Blessed Champion arrows, but I can't make those. But if you're neither a Wood Elf nor Karana deity, then you have to hunt for your materials. So that's kind of, I really wouldn't recommend fletching if you're neither a Wood Elf nor a Karana deity, because I couldn't imagine hunting for like 1,600 arrowheads, and I've estimated that I'm going to need about 1,600 combines to get this trophy to fully evolve. Yeah, just continuing to do this. You know, one of the things I really despise about fletching and archery in the game of Everquest is that you, after having killed a mob, all of your arrowheads, all of your stuff is basically just gone. Oh, I'm out of water. Let's get some more water. All of your arrowheads are basically gone. All of your arrowheads, your shafts, your fletchings, all of it's just gone, which is really annoying, because in the real world, you know, archery, arrowheads and shafts, those took like a long time to make. Okay, a good part of the English economy back in the medieval era was actually dedicated to making arrows, and actually fletching and shooting a bow was actually compulsory education for Englishmen. And around the time of Edward III, they all men between a certain age. I believe it was a pretty wide age range. I think it was something like 18 to 65 years of age were required to practice with their long bow. And what that means was arrows were in short supply, and really nice bows were in short supply, and they were very expensive back then. And steel arrow shafts. There you go. And so what these archers would do is they would recycle every single bit of material that they could from this education, which was a part of English tradition. And, so you couldn't just keep making new arrows over and over and over again. You would actually go retrieve the arrow, try to salvage the fletching, try to salvage the bow sometimes, or try to salvage the shaft as well as the arrowhead. And in some cases, all you could salvage was just the arrowhead. In some cases, the arrowheads were lost, and archaeologists have found them. But really, back then, everything was recycled. I mean, everything, because it was just too expensive for fletchers to just continuously make arrows all the time. So the archer would have to recycle his materials. So that's one thing with Everquest that I don't like is when you pump an animal or a humanoid or a monster mob full of arrows. I really believe that some of the arrows or most of the arrow making materials should appear on the mob's loot table when it dies for the archer to recover and to remake his or her arrows. So that's, I think, one area in this game which it would be much more realistic. I think it would present problems to people and the members of the group that are not archers or that are not rangers that don't do any fletching. So perhaps there's a way you could have a specialized loot table for the ranger, such that he or she could derive the benefits from recovering some of their materials. Because as it currently stands, you make the arrows, you shoot them, and then they're just gone. So it's literally like just burning money away. So that's one thing I don't like about archery in the modern game. So 1600 combine. So I require small groove knocks, steel arrow shaft, steel fletch, and these steel arrow shaft, steel fletch, and steel arrowheads. Got 1532 of these fletchings. So let's go ahead and buy some more fletching materials, and I'll be ready for my big trophy evolve combine. Try to get this trophy to evolve. Sucky part about steel guardian arrows is I gotta go to Surefall Glade. Luckily, I got Bard Speed. So let's head off to Surefall Glade. Okay, here we are. My Bard Speed wore off, so I got my doggy. So, heading into Surefall Glade. And I can demonstrate why I haven't trained up fletching since up until Seeds of Destruction. And mainly, it's a money thing. Let's go ahead and go find the Fletcher. So there's only one place in the world where you can buy materials for the Steel Guardian arrows. And what you do is take the map off. Okay, you find this guy. This is really cool. Nice archery range. I just love the look of it. Surefall Glade is gorgeous. So you find this guy. His name is Quaylen Hailstorm. And to make steel fletch, let's go ahead and make some room in my bag. I'm not going to sell you my glowing rune. So here's my Master Fletcher satchel. I'm going to destroy this once I get the Artisan satchel, which is a 12 slot. And I also get a really nice I get a really nice trade skill back too. So this is definitely worth doing. I did have 119,000 plat just from doing OOMs over and over, and I've reduced it down to 36,000. So you can tell that my education has cost me, but pretty soon I'll be as good a manufacturer of arrows and bows that you can be. Eventually, the goal being, let's go ahead and just find my fletching kit. The goal being that eventually I'll be able to make some nice, some much nicer and improved arrows. Let's just look up Fletching, because I have no idea where it is. There we are. Surefall, Fletching Kit, grab. Alrighty, and... there we are. Okay. Alrighty. So you can actually start this during the Planes of Power era, but there's no... I mean, it's very hard to get the amount of money you need to really get Fletching to fully, you know, for you to get it fully trained up in Planes of Power, unless you're selling Chrono, or, you know, you're a really, really, really savvy investor with platinum and money and markets. So let's look up. Actually, Steel Fletch is not a tailored item. It's actually a blacksmith item, which I believe we have a forge here. There you go. It's a Half-Elf forge, which this is a cultural forge. I should be able to make steel fletchings in it. Nope, it won't let me. So you can't use a cultural forge. You got to use a regular forge, which we can find. There's a regular forge. There you go. Alright, so I just need small bricks of steel, small working knife, steel working knife, and then a mark of Karana. You buy the marks of Karana off this guy. You have to be of the Karana religion to even talk to him. Alright, so 532, so just do a little calculation. Okay, so I'm going to buy 34 of these. There you go. And that cost me 210 platinum. Not bad, but these large bricks of steel, which are used to make these steel arrow shafts, are 55 plat a piece. So multiply that times 1600, and see how this becomes just astronomically expensive very quickly. So, okay, let's go ahead and start the, we haven't actually started fletching now, we're just blacksmithing. Steel, fletching, not. And right now it's like 5 a.m., so I don't have any groups going on, so I'm basically doing this with my downtime. So, these Steel Guardian arrows, these are nice. They're magical arrows. They have kind of... they don't have really the best range on them. Excuse me. I do give them to Deal. So, Deal, my rogue, gets the benefits of them. I do give them out to guildmates, but generally at this stage of the game, there's much better arrows that can be manufactured, which do better damage and have much more long range. But really, all I'm using these for is mainly just trying to get my skill up, get the trophy to evolve, make those nice bags, so have the best trophy in the game such that when new arrows do come out, I'll be able to make the best ones, and eventually fashion a nice bow. In the Planes of Power era, the Featherwood longbow is one of the best trade-skilled bows that you can make. So it's definitely a good idea if you're interested to start fletching those. They do tribute for a lot. Eventually, what happens is because Featherwood longbows are not lore and not attunable gear, they're free trade longbows. So you can use your Featherwood longbow and then hand it down to, you know, like an alt warrior or an alt rogue or what have you. Eventually, when they get a new and improved bow, you contribute that or sell it to another character. I actually did sell my Featherwood longbow for the exact same price I bought it for. So that was one of Annulus's first bows. Okay, so we're at 1600 arrowheads, 1600 fletching, 1600 shafts, and 1600 knocks. So we're ready to start this big fletching marathon. So I'm going to leave Surefall Glade, as nice as it is. Okay, so I cleared out my bags pretty well. Probably could do a better job clearing them out. But I just wanted to pull up my trophy as I can see it evolve. This is like perfect so that I can click on this vendor and sell arrows as I need. So basically what I'm going to do is make arrows, fill this bag full of arrows, sell them, make them again, sell them again. So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, Steel Guardian arrows. And I'm going to get off my horsey. There we go. Okay. So, let's see here. If you take off my trophy, you can see I go down to 300. When you click my trophy on, it goes to 336, so my success rate goes up. So you need several non-trivial combines that are successful. Okay, so I believe it's around 14 to 16 per skill up, I believe. I'm going to make one of these, and I believe they'll start going into here. So, and then they'll go into my quiver and then start filling up into my other bags. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the combines. And so basically we're just going to count until the trophy evolves. There you go. So that was, okay, that was a skill up. Okay, so you can see I turned down my volume here. Turn it back up. There you go. So you can see that I way overestimated the number of arrows that I would need. Right now the trophy's at 90% of the evolution, so I actually needed a lot fewer than I needed when I was poison making or baking or brewing. So I'm going to have probably around 1,000, enough ingredients for 1,000. So if you take 1,000 times 10, I'll have enough to make 10,000 Steel Guardian arrows, which are free trade, so probably I'll be making these for deal or anybody else that wants them. But the main thing is just to get this trophy to evolve, and I can go through the trade skill bags. So, so probably what I needed was closer to, I want to say 800 combines, but I did need about 15 to 1,600 for poison making. So depending on what your trade skill is, will establish you know, how many you need to do the final combine. Okay, you can see we're at 99% here. Looks like we're about to evolve. There you go, Fletcher's arrow. So let's go ahead and stop this horrible. So, okay, so I started with 1,600. I'm left with 1,133. So I way overestimated, so I probably spent more money than I should. So I assumed that the rate of the increase in the evolution of the trophy was the same for the level increase, which it is not. So that's a key thing in the video, so please learn from my mistakes. When you're trying to get your trophy to evolve, it actually evolves at a faster rate. Let's go ahead and click the trophy. We can take a look at it, actually. Let's see here. It looks pretty cool. It looks like an arrow. Isn't that neat? So we can click it, and we can summon a bag. And so there's the artisan satchel. So you can see this is a 12-slot satchel, which we're going to head to the Nexus. We're going to head to the Nexus and give this to a young man, a young gnome in the Nexus, and get a new trade skill bag. Okay, so the guy you want to talk to is this gnome. He's present in the bazaar. What you're going to do is you're going to give him this bag. Okay, he gives this to you. So then, what I'm going to do is just sell these Steel Guardian arrows. I'm not sure if I can have a master satchel and an artisan satchel, but we'll find out here. So you put this, well, you have your trophy equipped, combine, and what's it saying? Okay, duplicate lore items. Okay, so yeah, it won't let me. So I gotta get rid of my old backpack. So there it is. So my master Fletcher carryall I have to destroy. Combine this. Cool. So I have a Fletching component bag, and I have a Fletcher's carryall. So the Fletcher's carryall can go here. So now I have a 12-slot bag, and look at this component bag. So let's go up. So now I have a massive inventory, which is great. I love this music, it's great. So we find a banker, and we take this Fletching component bag. Let's click this. Bam! Look at that. Look at all that. Now this will only carry trade skill items, so I can take all my let me turn down this volume. Certain songs I like, certain songs I don't like. So I can take all these trade skilled components. So, for example, you can't put arrows in there, but you can put fletch in there. So I'm going to take all these materials. I need a new mouse. Put all these materials for these steel guardian arrows, which I think I have enough for over 10,000 of them. And let's see if I put the marker Quran in there, which I can. And yeah, just you could fill this with just trade skill only items. So this is a 24 capacity, 100% weight reduction bag, giant container, but you can only put trade skill items in there. The Fletching carryall is a 12-slot, 100% weight reduction giant item, but it can carry anything. So you get some really nice bags. I can also put my Fletching trophy in here. So there, my trophy can go in there, but the finished arrows can't go in here. So you got to put your finished arrows somewhere else. So really what I'm going to do is I'm going to... basically, I sold a lot of them. I'll give a lot away. Again, Fletching is kind of a trade skill where you're just kind of hemorrhaging money. But the cool thing is, now that I have a fully evolved trophy, and when I just equip it, and I look under skills, and I go under Fletching, what's that? I go under Fletching, I'm at 345, so I have the maximum trade skill modifier. It really wasn't that hard, it's just spending a lot of money. And because we're in the middle of the OOM expansion, or we're sort of the middle to the end of the Seeds of Destruction era, I'm going to be doing some more OOMs, and I'll be able to replenish my plat reserves pretty quickly. Again, I never really intended for Annulus to have this much money, and now that he did, I was able to train up Fletching. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye. I did want to add just a little postscript to this video. I did mention 14th century archery and the compulsory archery education of men. It was actually age 17 to 65. So basically, if you were an able-bodied man, probably the disabled too, in 14th century England, you know, you learned how to use a bow and arrow. That was compulsory. That was really required and expected of men in England at this time under Edward III. Interestingly, one of my favorite novels, high fantasy, is Eye of the World, and it actually became the Wheel of Time series. It was actually made into a mini-series on Amazon, but I really am a huge fan of the the Wheel of Time, and the village where the central heroes in the novel take place. The heroes of the novel, the village is called the Two Rivers, and without going into too many spoilers, every single person that comes from that village is an expert archer, and they are all very, very good shots at long range. And I'm pretty convinced it's really too bad Robert Jordan has since deceased. He's the author of these novels. He actually wrote these under a pen name. His original name was James Oliver Rickney Jr., and his biography is fascinating. But I'm convinced that he took the inspiration from 14th century England and the compulsory education of archery. And so, yeah, everyone in the Two Rivers can shoot a bow and arrow. They're excellent shots, and their story is fascinating. As we go through reading this series, I'd highly recommend reading it. I can't say I'm a big fan of the mini-series, but definitely the books, which are available on Audible if you like to listen, or also the books available to read. I've read them both, and I've listened to them on Audible. So they're just one of my all-time favorite series. And some of the characters in this novel, these are some of my all-time favorite characters in just about any genre. So I mean, I feel very strongly about this series, as do most people that are fans of it. So. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any pointers that you have on archery, new arrows that can be made in the Seeds of Destruction era, please leave a comment. I'd really like to know, like, what's the newest and best arrow that I can make and the newest and best bow that I can make. That would help me out significantly. Thanks a lot, guys. And this is the true ending of this video.